Welcome back to another episode of The Doctor's In. I am your doctor, C.G. Weinberg, and today I bring one of my favorite, my favorite ancient play. I can actually say that. It is my favorite ancient play. I don't like many of them, so this is my favorite ancient play. Coming hot from you, the press, only written over 2,000 years ago by one known playwright, Sophocles. And if you know Sophocles, you probably know the plays I'm talking about, and it is the Oedipus Trilogy. Now, I do not have an Oedipus problem, complex, not even close. So, no, not a thing, nope. But, you should then ask me why do I like these plays? Because everyone hates on them. Maybe it's just my contrarianness in here coming out, but I really do enjoy Oedipus the King, Oedipus, Echelonus, and Antigone. They're straight up fun. Oedipus the King is the one I know the best. I'm actually writing. I have like 25,000 words of a story I'm writing for my oldest son, based off this play. It's a fun one though, kind of. It's demented, but it's fun. It's demented in a fun way. I think I can say that. If you're not familiar with it, I'm going to ruin it for you, but that's your fault because this was written a long time ago. So Oedipus the King. Basically, it starts that Oedipus is king of Thebes. He's sitting there chilling with his queen, and like a plague, I think it's a plague, breaks out in Thebes. Things are going real bad, and they're like, okay, who screwed up? What's going on? Go to the oracle, find out who did what, and we'll kill him if we need to, because that's what they did in ancient times. And so, guy left, came back, and said, Oedipus, sorry, you're the one screwed up. He's like, what do you mean I screwed up? And they're like, well, they started going through his life. So, gets in the story, how did Oedipus become king? So, Oedipus was raised by shepherds, and he was just chilling at another village. I forgot what village it was. It's one of the famous cities, but he's chilling over there, and then he decides to start walking, and he's walking along. I think he actually is going to Thebes, but he's just walking along, and then someone comes up and attacks him on the road, and robbers break out of the carriage. He bites them off, kills them. Boom, done. They're robbers. He kills them, totally justified in ancient times. Keeps going along. Then he's walking up to a city, and it's Thebes, and they're like, dude, what's going on here? And like, dude, we're totally plagued right now by a sphinx, and no one can solve her riddle to get her to go away. And he's like, let me try. So he walks out the sphinx, and he's like, tell me a riddle. Let me see what I can do. Let's see if I can remember this riddle correctly. The sphinx says, what walks on 4 legs in the morning, 2 at midday, and 3 at night? And Oedipus, being wise, thinks about it for a minute and goes, a baby walks on 4 legs, and then when he's grown, he walks on 2, and when he's old, he walks on 3 with a cane. So it is man. And the Sphinx is like, you're right, peace out, I'm gone. Leaves Thebes alone, and Thebes then says, great, we said anyone who got rid of the Sphinx could marry the queen because the king's gone, so hey, Oedipus, go ahead, marry the queen. And he becomes king of Thebes. Unbeknownst to him, there's a giant prophecy about him that no one else knew. Literally, no one knew about it. Because, unbeknownst to him, he happened to be the king and queen's son. And when the king was a young man and had this son, Oedipus, the king was told, hey, your son is going to kill you and marry your wife. And the king's like, shoot, I gotta do something about this. I don't want to die. I don't want him to kill me, and I don't want my wife to marry him. So that's bad on all accounts. We gotta do something. Hey, yo, faithful servant, general that I've had forever. Please go kill my son for me. Just go. Take out the town and kill it. Soldier's like, okay, boss. But he felt bad. So took this little cute little baby out to the field and just laid it down and said, well, I'm going to leave it up to the gods. If the god kills him, it's the god's fault, not mine. Peace out. See you, baby. Unbeknownst to this general, the shepherd comes and picks this baby, i.e. Oedipus' parents that he thought was his real parents, picked this baby and raised him. And then when he's walking along, the bandits that jumped out was actually his father, the king, who attacked him and he ended up killing his father. And then when he came in there and beat the Sphinx, saved Thebes, he then married his mother. So he fulfilled this prophecy, this fate about him that he knew nothing about. And the kicker part of the play is at the very end of it, he realizes wrong. His wife slash mother kills herself, and he feels terrible. And so instead of dying, he stabs his own eyes out, or burns them, I can't remember, and exiles himself to nowhere. And that's the end of the play. Pretty tragic, but I really do enjoy the handling of it. And I think the thing I like most is the fact that the ancients understood how fate would work. To them, fate was super cruel. It was a god of themselves. There was nothing you could do about it. What was said was going to happen no matter what you did. There's no running from it. It's going to be what it is. The hard part about Sophocles and the Theban trilogy is the fact that their gods hated them and wanted everything from them. The gods needed their due, and so there's nothing to do about it. You had to obey the gods and do what they said and hope they don't find you, which is what the three plays really show you. So Antigone is the hard part, because she's torn between obeying the king, the new king, which is her uncle, it's her uncle, but her brothers side with her uncle and her father, and she's torn between, does she honor both brothers or one brother? Because the new king, Creon, says the brother that sided with him deserves honor, but the other brother who sided with their dad deserves dishonor. And they actually ended up fighting each other and killing each other. And Antigone wanted to bury both of them and give them both burial honors. And Creon said, no, you can only bury the honorable one. You can't bury the other one. And Antigone's like, well, I kind of gotta, the gods say I have to honor the dead, so I have to obey God, not the king. And so she did that. And the king, Creon, was going to then, the goal was to marry her off, but then she did this, so she couldn't be married off to, I think, Creon's son. So instead, she hangs herself and dies tragically. And it's really quite sad, but it's all to honor her brother, which if you're reading Indy Wilson's Ashtown Burials, you have to wonder, why does he name his main girl character Antigone? What is he going to do in the last book? That is the question, Nate. What are you doing in your last book? You gotta finish it. Come on, dude. Why did you name them Cyrus and Antigone? What are you pushing for? That's the question. But his character is rooted here. And Nate is a great author in the fact that he steals from everyone, such as the first Ashtown Burial is a fantastic retelling of Treasure Island, and I love it because of that. And if you didn't notice that, I'm sorry, but come on. Ben Sterling is Long John Silver. William Skelton, Billy Bones. Come on. It's like right there. It is fantastically done, super fun. I love how he did it. But what is he doing with Antigone? It comes from this book, if you don't know. So if you're reading Ashtown Burials, you should definitely read these ones so you know what to kind of expect. But I do really enjoy this book. The other flip side, from a worldview perspective, that I really like about this book is that it does clearly show the ancients' relationship with the gods, with their gods, and how, at best, you could want to be avoided by the gods. At worst, is you caught their attention and maybe get to please them, but more than likely, pleasing the gods is going to end at your death. Which, as Christians, we don't have a God like that. We don't have power-hungry, manipulative gods that don't care about people. We have a God that died for us. So we have a glorious retelling. But that is, I enjoy this because it shows you what man will come up with if left to his own devices. Just like the Bacchae, which I need to do a video on that one too. The Bacchae is just terrible. But it's important because why does C.S. Lewis have Bacchus in his books? That's a good question. Come from the Bacchae, you think they should not be, but he does. But anyway, I'm getting off tangent. But Sophocles, the Oedipus Trilogy, definitely read them. I really do enjoy them. Oedipus the King is my favorite. Oedipus at Colonus is just kind of a sob story. And Antigone is just sad. But all that said, there you go. I like them. You should like them too. Give them a read if you haven't. You're late because they're really old. But read the book. Enjoy them. Comment below if you have something else you want me to review. Give me a like if you enjoyed this. Share this with someone who needs to read this book, or maybe they have an Oedipus complex. If you don't know what that is, look it up, or don't, because it's terrible. Subscribe if you want to know when my next video out. But besides that, the doctor is out.